Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still laughing at Laura Ingram's latest faceplant. If you haven't seen it, it's fantastic, and it's here.
And these are just facts, Mary Catherine Ham. I mean, if you know Minnesota, and I don't well, especially Milwaukee, it's changed.
These are just facts. I just love this. It's her confidence that really gets me. There are no facts on the entertainment channel for Mary Cousins, and she proved that again.
If you know Minnesota, and I don't well, especially Milwaukee, it's changed.
The second Tim Walz was announced, I said, just wait till one of the most famous Minnesotans, MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell, weighs in, and he does not disappoint. Lindell is furious, and it's hilarious. I'm going to have a laugh going over just what the pillow manufacturer gone mad had to say about Tim Walz, his history, and do a little fact-checking.
And plus, he's just no personality. So, I mean, it's not like he's going to be out there having the charisma to lie his way through this of what he's done to our great state of Minnesota.
No personality. I mean, of all the attacks, that's the strange one. This guy has heaps of personality. I mean, come on, man. This is just ridiculous. This guy? No personality? Him? No personality?
I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So, you see what I did there?
Oh, we see what you did there, and it was fantastic. No personality. Zero. None.
Eric polished the golden turd tongs because I have agreed to take a day off from pretending I can golf to debate crazy Kamala. I am playing nice. It will take place September 10th, the day before the anniversary of me declaring I now had the tallest building in Manhattan.
This is really cool.
But I would have picked the guy in Pennsylvania, Shapiro or whatever. I mean, that would have been, their logic, it doesn't even make sense because everyone's going to get educated real fast on how bad Walz is.
There you have it, folks. The guy that claims he was a professional card counter and poker player with his most famous tell. Gross. Here's the truth. It was splitting hairs. They had several great choices and had to pick one, and it wasn't easy because they were all more than qualified, whereas Team Trump had to go to a pottery barn and pry JD away from the cushions because Don Jr. insisted the cat-hating frequent name changer was the guy for the job.
This guy was so afraid of me running for governor because he's such a horrible governor. When I was going to run right after the election of 2020, I kept silent then because I said I wouldn't run to be a dog catcher until these machines are gone. And obviously I went all in the last 3.5 years. But let me tell you what he did. He sent out millions of dollars or millions of postcards. I don't know how much it costs. It costs a lot of money. And everyone in Minnesota with my picture on it going, do you really want this guy? He's just blasted me, and I hadn't even ever said I'd run for governor publicly. So I mean, this guy, just horrible governor.
Another reason to vote for the Harris-Walz ticket is that the paper ballots guy had his political chances destroyed by a piece of paper that listed some facts about him. I have scoured the internet for this postcard, and I've yet to find a graphic of what Walz put on there, so I had to make a few guesses. Now, if there's anything I missed that you think should have been on this card, let me know in the comments.
They have to make it look like the steal of this election will be believable. That's all they're out for. Because if you had a completely secure election with paper ballots, hand counting, Donald Trump would win over 60% of the United States to be a wipeout, a landslide. We all know that. They have to convince the Fox watcher that this could happen. That's all it is. By taking Walz, there's nothing to convince them. All this is going to open up an onion, and people are going to realize what we all know in Minnesota. He's about as left as you can get. A horrific governor.
So that was D-movie actress turned ultra-right-wing fraudcaster Emerald Robinson, who is slowly going full Guilfoyle meets the Flintstones with that misshaped rock necklace thing around her neck. The steal of this election will be believable. They had to get great candidates so they could win. This is like someone studying for a test and then people saying that they cheated because they memorized the answers. It doesn't matter who they put forward or which way they hold an election, be it machines or paper ballots hand counted, they will always cry foul. And just like Matt Gaetz morphing into a Joel Osteen melted candle, the further these folks go down the right-wing toilet, the weirder they look. Weird. This was Emerald when she started at Lindell's biggest broadcast place ever.
Is that you can access Frank Speech, whether it be Roku, an Apple app, now Fire Stick, frankspeech.com, so that you can watch us from anywhere you are, right, Mike?
Our voices have changed. All these new platforms have sprung up, and people are finding other places to watch the news. And the best is right here at Lindell TV and Frank Speech. And we've got the Fire Stick, like you say, a new Roku app, brand new yesterday. A new Roku app, brand new yesterday, a new upgrade, and
still thinks it's Roku. Now, whenever he mentions this, by comedy law, I am contractually obligated to share this. It's the law.
Brandon, because I don't about this Roku thing. So I go to my TV tonight, and where do I find Roku?
You already have a TV with Roku built in it.
So I got to go buy a little Roku box. So
choose that you want to add it to your home screen.
And where do I find Roku?
It's an icon now on your TV, just like the icons on your computer.
So I got to go buy a little Roku box. So
think of your TV as a big, gigantic computer screen, and now you have your Frank Speech.
And where do I find Roku?
You say you want to add
in your house, or your neighbors could turn you in, and you got 90 days in jail. At Christmas, we got 4 more people added. These things were absolutely shut down our Christian churches, opened up the mosque to play Islam stuff on top of the buildings in Minneapolis. First time ever done in the United States. And as you say, changed out our flag for the Somalian flag, which we have over 150,000, I believe, now in Minnesota.
He's so tolerant. The flag design adopted in December includes a dark blue shape resembling Minnesota on the left with a white 8-pointed North Star on it. On the right is a light blue field that those involved in the selection process say symbolizes the abundant waters that help define the land of 10,000 lakes. The new state seal features a loon amid wild rice to replace the image of a Native American riding off into the sunset while a white settler plows his field with a rifle at the ready. The original Dakota name for Minnesota, Minnesota-Makose, I don't know if I said that right, but I gave it a go, which will go on the new seal, can be translated as where the water meets the sky. The Somali national flag, which is a solid blue with a white 5-pointed star right in the center. Come on, this is like a game of spot the difference you get on a toddler's placemat at Denny's. They're not even close.
Shutting down our Christian churches, but the mosque, the Muslims could have the ring out for Allah on the top of all the buildings in Minneapolis, which had never done before in the United States. It was done by Walz.
Minneapolis was the first major U.S. city to allow the call to prayer to ring out. Now, my first experience with this was doing shows in the Middle East, where I've been many times over the years. I'm a light sleeper, had jet lag, was not a fan of this. Now, I'm not against this, but I don't think it makes sense. There was a time when people could not tell the time and relied on things like this broadcast. It's 2024. I'm sure you can get a push notification for the call at this point, but Lindell's frustration is not about that. It's that a religion he really doesn't like got a point on him in his hometown.
So, Mike, tell us about your close friend and the governor from your state. Gosh, he's a great teacher.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't understand them picking him. He's about as far left as you can get, about as progressive and as socialist as you can get. He's got ties to China. I think he speaks Mandarin.
Tim Walz taught American history, culture, and English for a year in China in 1989, immediately after graduation, volunteering with Harvard's World Teach program, and as a result, he speaks some Mandarin. And I think Mike Lindell is confused and frustrated by this, as Tom Selleck's slow cousin barely speaks English. Speaking some Chinese or any foreign language does not mean you are a spy or are on the take. I have noted on here that I took Mandarin lessons for a couple years because I'm weird. And again, Kushner had a property sale visa program going on in China, like actual pay-to-play stuff.
If you had 10 people in your house for Thanksgiving, you got the neighbor could turn you in. If you had more than 10, it was 90 days in jail. He gave us 12 for Christmas, though. I will give him that. He gave us a couple more people.
He really is upset about not having a lot of family over. I don't know about you, but limiting the amount of people was fantastic. Suddenly, those relatives that you felt forced to invite and had to tolerate couldn't come, and it wasn't on you. But it was simply about stopping the spread because the hospitals were full. These people have zero respect for healthcare workers, zero. He just told Emerald Robinson it was 14 people. Now he's saying 12. I mean, this is the guy that tried to convince us that he took calculus in the 8th grade. The same guy that once called Doug Frank a math magician.
He puts all this in place, then he lets everybody go in the street, no mask, just to burn up Minneapolis. And, you know, Rudy, I spent so much time down there with my friends that have changed their lives back when we used to be crack addicts and
You know, it's a Mike Lindell segment when he's reminiscing about the good old days. You know, when I used to be a crackhead and all this cool stuff. He let them burn down our police thing. You would think someone with multiple jail stints and an ankle monitor would know it's a police station, not a police thing. Police thing. Back in the good old days. With the crack guys.
I'm just saying.
Walz called in the National Guard before.
Over tampons?
May 30th.
No.
May
on
30th.
May 28th, more than 7 hours before Trump asked to do. There is audio up right now of Donald Trump on the phone with Tim Walz praising him, as well as Secretary of Defense, I should say, Mark Esper, who wrote in his book about what a good job Tim Walz did with that.
May 30th. May 30th. Okay, ease off the box wine, Judge Janine. You mean she is as wrong here as Laura Ingraham was about Minnesota, Milwaukee. Minneapolis Mayor Frey said Walz initially hesitated to deploy the National Guard on May 27th, but Walz's executive order shows he called up the National Guard on May 28th, before Trump offered federal assistance. Sorry, Judge Janine, not May 30th. It was May 28th. This is documented. If you love what I do here and you can afford to help out, throw me a buck with the PayPal link in the pinned comment or drop me a super thanks with this button.
That's impossible by the numbers. And you just talked about Pennsylvania. That in Pennsylvania, don't forget another thing that guy did. He turned into their electors with more votes than voters, everybody. More votes than voters.
I do enjoy Rudy trying to keep up with Lindell's nonsense, but he has no choice. This is the last stop in his career before he pulls a Lou Dobbs or goes to jail. But this is a change from bargain bin Burt Reynolds, who has said this before.
They turned in their electors. They had more voters than votes in places where it's against their law. You can't have more voters than votes. But Walz is, to me, once the polls are not going to go up for that ticket. I mean, I don't know why they picked him, but it's, they basically doubled down on the evil and doubled down on the this far left craziness that it's insanity what he's done.
It's insanity that you're critical of this guy's accomplishments. Governor Walz and Lieutenant Governor Flanagan took new action to significantly lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors and middle-class families. Insanity. Walz introduced a red flag law and mandatory background checks for private gun transfers, enhancing public safety. Walz signed the PRO Act, securing abortion rights and other reproductive health services as fundamental rights in Minnesota. Walz legalized recreational marijuana and expunged minor marijuana convictions. Walz signed a $2.3 billion education budget into law, the single largest investment in public education in state history. Is this insanity? I mean, he implemented a program ensuring free breakfast and lunch for all K-12 students in Minnesota. What a monster. Kamala isn't even America. This is not fair. MAGA tears. Donald Trump gave up a life of riches to serve his country and God, and you are just another pathetic hater. MAGA tears. You don't have to worry about Trump's 0 tips on the taxes because nobody would leave you a dime. MAGA tears. Actress turned ultra right-wing fraud. I do enjoy Rudy trying to keep up with Lindell's nonsense, but he has no choice. I mean, this is the last stop in his career before he pulls a Lou Dobbs or goes to jail. And just like Matt Gaetz morphing into a Joel Osteen melted candle, the further these And it wasn't easy because they were all more than qualified, whereas Team Trump had to get out their passports and go to IKEA and try and pry JD away from the cushions because John Jr. I have had heaps of comments from people saying that they were automatically unsubscribed, my videos weren't in their feed, they weren't getting my notifications, and over the last few months, my views went from averaging 80 to 100,000 to 15 to 25,000, even though my analytics show viewer retention is in the top of YouTube, which is their most important metric. Help me fix this. Please make sure that you are subscribed and that you have all my notifications on. And when you finish this video, stick around, check out another one of mine, and leave a new comment. If you have time, do it again. According to David Pakman, who also had this problem, this will disrupt the algorithm that has been trying to bury liberal creators. And check out my join button that makes you a member of my channel, giving you access to a variety of unique perks while supporting this one-man show. Thanks for watching. Be cool, be kind, take care.